欢迎来到异想直播间。本场直播的主题是 BioChina 2026国际论坛中东市场。Hey everyone, welcome to today's webinar hosted by BioChina. Today's webinar topic is Middle East market.
All right, we can start right now. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's the Middle East market session. My name is Louis Menaslir. I am a consultant, and I will be your moderator for today's discussion. And I'm very pleased to do it alongside a very distinguished panelist that I will have a brief introduction to them just momentarily. We will talk about the regional regulations, as well as market entry strategy, as well as the pharmaceutical business development in the Middle East. Before I start with the introduction, I just wanted to say that the Middle East has become increasingly an important region for both the pharmaceutical as well as the biotech industry, with a growing healthcare demand, as well as evolving regulatory frameworks and increasing interest from the international companies. The region really presents both significant opportunities as well as some unique challenges. With that, I'd like to have just a brief intro to our panelists. First is Dr. Hussam Deep. He is the CEO of Bioscience Pharma. Then Mr. Faisal Darwaz, the Vice President of Business Development and Alliance Management at Hikma Pharmaceutical, which is one of the largest pharmaceutical in the Middle East. And followed by Mr. Mohammed Jubran, the CEO and Principal Consultant at Pharma No Consultant. Thank you all for being here today. And I also would like, before we begin the discussion, we would like to pass the floor to you and give us a quick intro about what you do, your organization, and what's your focus. I'll start with Dr. Deep, please.
Yeah, hi. I'm a doctor. I'm a medical doctor in pharma from 1990. I work over all the Middle East. Now I have companies in Dubai, in Ukraine, and in Syria. We do consultation, business development to many companies from CIS countries, from Middle East. Mainly our market now is Algeria. We're mainly working in the last 5 years with oncology and biosimilar products.
Good morning. Thank you for your introduction. My name is Faisal Darwaz. I head the global business development at Hikma Pharmaceuticals. Hikma is a global company based in the Middle East, Europe, and the United States. It was founded in Jordan, and now we operate across the 3 regions. In the MENA region, we are the largest pharmaceutical company by revenue, and we operate across many markets, including Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. Happy to be here and to discuss the region.
So I'll repeat a quick introduction about me. Maybe someone joined later. I am Mohammed Jubran, Regulatory Affairs Consultant. I have more than 20 years of experience in regulatory affairs in Saudi Arabia, working with the Saudi FDA and working in the industry. Currently working in Pharma No Consulting, a company I established in 2014. And we help companies either with clinical trials in Saudi Arabia as a CRO or regulatory affairs, pharmacovigilance projects. We work as the regulatory arm in Saudi Arabia for international companies. Whether they have distributors or not, we help them go through compliance with the authority and make sure they can commercialize smoothly. So we're looking forward to our discussion today.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed Jubran. So we clearly have a very unique perspective here, and I'd like to start with the market entry strategy, since this is like one of the key considerations for companies who try to expand into the Middle East. I'll start with you, Mr. Mohammed. What are the most important factors that they should evaluate when deciding where to establish their presence in the Middle East market? And then I will go around.
Okay, I will leave the commercial part, which is the obvious part for the gentlemen. It's their field, but in regulatory affairs, mostly the most points they have to focus on after they pass feasibility and commercial is to start early preparation for the Saudi Arabia. Because unfortunately, I see many chances for Chinese companies. They lose the chance because they find out they have to do trials again, or they have done studies of their products not the right way. Okay, Saudi Arabia is not as Europe or the US FDA, where you require a huge investment in a trial. Okay, in Saudi, it's a very reasonable cost compared to the market size that you are going to, and it is a gateway. So please, even if you are in early stages, IIT stage, phase 1 stage, just have a good idea how to open up Saudi market for yourself before you end all your studies, so you can have a better, smoother access to Saudi Arabia. This is the most important factor. Other regulatory factors, I think they all are manageable. This is the most big investment and time consuming that I want you to focus on.
Mr. Faisal, do you have anything to add on this?
Well, as Mr. Muhammad said earlier, the largest market in the Middle East is Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. So you find a lot of partners interested to work in Saudi Arabia for many reasons, because it's very well regulated, the most regulated market. Financially and commercially, it's the largest market, and there's a lot of government support for healthcare and pharmaceuticals, including spending. So at Hikma, we consider it a tier 1 market, and that's where we invest a lot. Other than Saudi, we also have Algeria, quite important and large as well. And third to that would be Egypt. So from Hikma's perspective, the largest 3 markets that we attract partners for are Saudi, Algeria, and Egypt. Another aspect to this discussion is localization. In the Middle East, there's a lot of trend towards bringing companies to manufacture or package or hire local people in market for the market. This has happened in Algeria for many years. We see that now more and more in Saudi Arabia. So it's important to have a good local partner that can help you localize, or you can work with them to be local. My experience in the Middle East is if you come out from the outside to the region alone, it's very complicated and challenging. So the best is to find a local partner or a regional partner.
I totally agree. Dr. Hassam, anything to add?
Yes, I'm with Mr. Faisal regarding the localization. I am supporting the localization all the time because we can see the result of localization in Algeria. We have good experience in the Algerian market, and we saw that in Algeria now almost 70-75% of the market is coming from localized production of they are pioneer in localization, and as I know in Saudi Arabia also they encourage this in the plan 3030 to even in the pharma to encourage the finding a localization of manufacturing. This is, I think, the main way. For me, the main problem that especially Chinese company when coming to Middle East, they think the Middle East it's the same. This is the problem that's difficult. Even no more GCC registration centrally to give you any result. You need to understand the market by market. When you go there, there is a big difference in registration and requirement. That's why a local partner will help you to be there.
Really great perspective. Thank you. I want to shift gears toward partnership. And, it really plays a critical role in the region. So I will start with Mr. Faisal. what collaboration models between international companies and Middle Eastern partners tend to be the most successful? I'd like to hear about your Hikma perspective experience.
Hikma was founded in the early 80s, and we've been partnering with Asian companies since the early 80s, such as Takeda, Stellas, later on Celltrion. So we've had a long experience working with all sorts of partners around the world. I think what's important for us is to find partners that are thinking long-term and not about short-term financial gain. We want to bring high-quality medicine to the region that's affordable over the long term. And partners that think like we do over 20, 30 years are the ones that we've been successful with. So that's very important for us. And second, we like to build trust, and trust is built through time and success. So we want to find the right products, the right partner, and we want partners that understand that we can deliver their products successfully in the region. As we explained, it's not quite a simple region to operate in. And so we want someone we can collaborate with over the long term. We've done a lot of models at Hikma and partnering. Some of the partnerships we do local manufacturing. So we transfer the products and we manufacture in our sites across the region, especially in Saudi Arabia, Algeria, and Egypt. Other partners, we do pure licensing. Sometimes we do product acquisitions. And more lately, we've been doing more early stage, phase 2, phase 3 partnerships to bring more innovative medicines to the region.
Great insight. And I totally agree. With regard to partnerships, trust and long-term thinking always win. Anything to add, Dr. Hussam?
Yeah, regarding the partnership also, we have even with Chinese company in Algeria, with Zilo, we do 2 products in Algeria and biosimilars. We do from Apexis from Korea, 1 product localized. We have also many partnership in the region, even from China also.
Mr. Mohammed, anything for partnership?
It's just I want to bring up that always finding the new partner takes the most time. Sometimes it takes more than the time needed for the authority to approve the product, which is so sad, really. Sometimes a year, a second year. So just please focus on good partners because they help you, even they sign faster or they decide faster. They help you through the journey, make it smoother for you. Also explore the idea of proceeding with Saudi FDA before you get the right partner. It's not necessary to secure the partner from the beginning. So at least you have something going, the timeline for Saudi FDA. Then you apply through a non-commercial partner until you find a partner who signed with them, just to accelerate your access to the market.
Great insight. Thank you. Another question that I have is regarding the product opportunities, and I will pass it to Dr. Hussam first, and then we will go clockwise. What therapeutic areas or product types currently present the greatest opportunity or unmet needs in the Middle East?
Yeah, I think it's everybody knows that the biosimilar, this is the main market now, especially of now waiving the phase 3 from USA, Europe, and today, thank you for Dr. Muhammad. I know that Saudi, they waive it also. This is big opportunity to come. Biosimilars market coming higher and higher, and we in last 5 years concentrating mainly in biosimilars. We have oncology products and biosimilars, but mainly our market it's biosimilars, and it's really very, very important market, I think, to everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Faisal, anything to add?
Yeah, we cover almost all therapeutic categories at Hikma. But of course, biosimilars is one of the major markets that we operate in through partnerships with Celltrion, mainly for the MENA region. And then we also cardiovascular, oncology, gene therapy. I mean, these are all important. Diabetes, of course, growing and critical segments in the region.
Great perspective. Mr. Mohammed, anything?
Products?
Yeah, product opportunities.
To build on the points gentlemen talk about, of course, biosimilars, biotech, but also advanced therapies, cell and gene. Cell and gene is a huge appetite in Saudi in research, and also the SFDA is open to accelerate their approval more than any other product. Awarding breakthrough conditional approvals with only Chinese data is highly possible. So don't park Saudi Arabia market too much, and consider it the whole region, of course, as soon as possible.
Great insight. I want to follow up more on the product opportunities with Dr. Hassam, given your experience in operating in the region. What do international pharmaceutical companies often misunderstand about launching or maybe commercializing a product in the Middle East?
I think the main problem is understanding the local culture and the local registration requirements. This is the main problem when they get to the market. Finding the partners, the right partners in the market. This is the main thing. They consider the Middle East as a one place, and this is it's not right. The second thing, they still thinking international companies that there is no high tech or no new medicine in the Middle East or in other countries. Middle East now it's open as never before to China, to India, to where there is a new opportunities, and they need to see that there is a new players. There is a huge Chinese companies and biosimilars that they can take a market, and they don't consider that. This is what I see from my opportunity from my visiting. Yesterday I visit Jinan, I visit Zilo Pharma, and I saw the opportunity. I saw company like I didn't see in many countries in the world that it's already coming in China, and this international company, they need to consider there is a newcomers to the market, and they need to consider that.
Really great point. I wanted to dive deep into partnership. Mr. Faisal, given your experience in Hikma, how do you evaluate potential international partners? What key factors determine whether the collaboration will be successful?
Well, there are many factors, but maybe it comes down to a few things. One point is we start by looking at the partner, at the company, at the management team, at the pipeline, at the products, at their interactions, how we can work together, their business mindsets, their science understanding, and what they want from Hikma and the region, whether it's Middle East, US, or Europe. So we have to assess upfront if we are a good match. Second to that, we want to understand their clinical and quality capabilities. We want to partner with companies that have the same mindset as Hikma of only the highest quality products on the market. So typically we look for companies that are up to standard with US FDA or EMEA. If not, then we can work with them to bring them up to those standards. And we've done that a lot in the past, including with Chinese companies and South Korean companies. So that's very important to us. And the last point is we want a partner that wants a win-win partnership, not one side win, the other side loses. So these are some of the aspects we look at for a successful partnership, including other points, but these are the main ones.
Wonderful, really great points. Mr. Mohammed, I wanted to go back to regulatory side. What are some of the most common regulatory success factors in the Middle East market right now?
Um, I'll be maybe repeating myself a little, but early preparation for the market. It's targeting the market. Well, just as when you plan for the West, for Europe, for the US, you invest and you prepare a lot. The Middle East need similar focus in early stages. The good thing is the investment is not comparable to the West, but the market is very promising. The market size as a growth rate is above margin. We're talking about Saudi 11%. So early preparation will make your access more smooth, not only for data, but for choosing a correct partner. Everything should not be done after you start marketing everywhere else. It's good to have the attention at earlier stage.
Really great point. Thank you. I think before I give it to the audience for a Q&A, I just wanted to highlight what I understood from this discussion is that it's not only having really a strong product to enter the Middle East, it's really more about having the right market strategy, the right partnership, as well as a complete understanding of the regulatory. But now I will give it to the audience if you guys, any of you have a Q&A to our panelists. Yep.
Yeah, thank you for the very insightful points about the Middle East. So my question about, I've been too often asked questions by Chinese pharmaceutical companies. The first one about the local data. Yeah, only China NMP approved data. So how many data can be used in Middle East? Can be like Saudi, because you are PICS countries. China is not PICS members. So the first one about dossier. Dossier, what kind of data should be there? And what kind of clinical trial should be done in Saudi? The first one. The second about PICS, some Chinese company get EU GMP, US FDA, I think not the issue, but local GMP. So how many things should be done to match the GMP level? So 2 questions. Thank you.
Thank you. If I understand correctly, you need to consider in your dossier, depends on the type of product, of course, different requirements, but basics like GMP, PICS, China don't have to be PICS member. The manufacturer can comply. And we have approved manufacturers here in Saudi, inspected by SFDA. Other things, obvious market-specific factors is, as I said, in biosimilar, you need to choose the right reference product to do your studies. Stability studies, as usual, it's well known. Generics, like more than, I can say confidently, more than 95%, maybe higher than generics in China, are not doing BE in a reference BE center. So all this is outside the picture, but today is not about generic, it's about bio products. So yeah, these are the most important factors, and I hope I answered your question about GMB.
I can add for Algeria, as we have experience. In Algeria, they accept the Chinese clinical study. There is no company registration in Algeria. There is no need to do a company registration. It's a part of the file when you submit for the product registration. They accept Chinese GMB, but in Algeria still they need full phase 3 for the biosimilars. It's not waived yet.
Hello, may I have the question? My name is Kevin from Cushing Bioscience. I'm very glad to see Lulu again to host in such a good session. Regarding about the biosimilars, I think it's a very hot topic. We're talking about it during about China. Early this week, FDA mentioned that they no longer require any originators from USA to do the clinical trials, which means that the clinical trials in China or European, they can accept the data for FDA approval for biosimilars. So I wish to listen to your experts whether this will be accepted by Middle East company as well, because we have a lot of China biosimilars. They use the originator from China, and they have clinical trials from phase 1 to phase 3. If this is acceptable by the Middle East companies or countries, it will be a lot of choice from China to collaborate with your region. This is my question. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm aware of this last week, I think, US FDA announcement. Saudi, 2 months ago, verbally in a workshop, Saudi FDA announced a similar thing, which is clinical efficacy evaluation is no longer needed. Of course, there will be some exceptions for products that has mechanism of action is not really known, or analytical procedures are not sufficient for them. But I think it's the same in Saudi. Maybe only PK study, even PD, maybe you don't have to do it. But it depends on the product. And let's wait also for SFDA official written announcement, because it's still verbally in a workshop.
Thank you so much. My name is Gadisa. I'm representing overseas pharmaceuticals, mainly focused in the Middle East and the African region. I would like to know...
Please closer, we cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. So I would like to know, what are the most challenges that many overseas pharmaceuticals or Chinese companies face in the Middle East market, and also how to overcome the bottlenecks that appears or due to the frustration or the Middle East markets. So what's your overall idea?
I can start. So what I've seen personally in the last few years is there's been a shift in the region towards accepting more Chinese-based innovative biotech products. Of course, this is not only in the Middle East, but across Europe and USA. We see more and more big pharma doing large deals with Chinese innovative biotechs. So on the innovative side, I think the Chinese companies will have much more success in the MENA region. On the generic side, as Dr. Muhammad said, it's more complex and maybe costly for the Chinese partners, because they have to repeat bioequivalence studies. Maybe they need more regulatory approvals. So what we see at Hikma is more innovative Chinese assets in cell and gene and other therapies making their way slowly into the region, and less generics assets coming from China, which I think is a great thing, because we need more innovation and less of more generics.
Yeah, I can add that biosimilars from China, it's acceptable more and more now, oncology products, and still the API from China, because this is also China now the biggest supplier of API, I think, all over the world, especially for antibiotics. That's why the Chinese, they have market very well in APIs also.
Let me first thank the panelists for the insight, right? And my question is regarding to the advanced therapeutics. That's what I would call here, especially CGT. My name is Meijia Yang. I'm from Navigent Bio in Hangzhou. Now, my question to you folks are several, right? So first of all, are there any regulation for genetic materials as we deal with the human cells and the human cell product in the Middle East? And what will be those policies? And especially when if we collaborate, right? So it will be an international collaboration. And there might be some sensitivity regarding genetic material. And that's the first question. And my second question is, I'm not actually familiar with the Middle East market and how advanced you are in the CGT field, and whether you absolutely require that the manufacture as well as test, etc., being carried out in the Saudi Arabia, and whether you are equipped or you have central labs already established for this type of purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. First question is about cell therapy.
Well, there's apparently an issue for some countries, right? The genetic materials, the genetic information are not supposed to be transported across the border. Okay, so I'm not sure. Maybe there's a sensitivity, at least in the U.S. market. Yeah. So okay, so let's skip that question. So if you could.
In short, it's okay in Saudi. With the permission, we export cell for gene editing. It's no problem.
So we could basically,
it's not like the US.
If let's say you have a patient blood, right? It can be processed, and the cells being sent to China to be processed and sent back.
Yes, that's fine.
That's okay.
That's
all right.
fine.
Okay, so that's good. So the second question is about how let's say how advanced your facilities are in the Middle East that we can actually manufacture those cells in Middle East and for therapeutic treatment. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, it depends on which technology you're talking about, but currently I'm aware of a few labs being developed, built in Saudi Arabia. Some of them semi-governmental, some of them fully independent, mostly for CAR T therapies. They are not done yet, but they are close to be done. Other types of labs, I'm not sure which lab you're looking for, but I don't have real visibility on what options are available now.
This is from the perspective from the entry of Chinese innovative drugs company to the Middle East area. So the first question is, how is the acceptance of the Chinese innovative drugs companies when they do the clinical trials stand alone only in China, and how is the acceptance of the Chinese data to the Middle East companies? Usually the conventional model is Chinese companies go to US and Europe, they do the clinical trials, get approvals there, and then they start to file in the Middle East. But there could be a mixed model where nowadays Chinese companies are also trying to perform the clinical studies in different areas. And how would be the role of local partnerships if they are willing to participate in the early clinical studies and do some early investments to have better leverages on the potential of the innovative drugs?
Maybe Mr. Muhammad, you can talk about the Saudi, maybe first Chinese innovative on data approval. I'm بسأل عن
Yeah, sure. Then you will talk about the role of partnership. Okay. Chinese data is just the factor of ethnicity, as you know. So you can have a chance for some cell therapies, higher chance with gene therapy, most probably not affected by ethnicity, but still there is a probability. CAR T, for example, there's some new publications that ethnicity is affected, so authorities came back to ask for bridging studies. But if it's a normal product, bio or chemical product, Chinese data is not sufficient. That's why I was lobbying and asking for inclusion of sites in South.
As I told before, in Algeria, it's accepted clinical study only from China. This accepted 100%.
Yeah, I think we're focused on Saudi, but as Dr. Hussam is saying, the region has many markets and many regulations. Saudi is the most regulated in line with US and European standards. True, Algeria is accepting Chinese-only data, even in biosimilars, direct registrations and approvals. They prefer local manufacturing, of course. But from our standpoint at Hikma, we do want to participate in earlier stage assets. We do want to invest in localizing clinical studies, but this is all new from China, of course. So we are looking into that, and we will be doing that.
There is market now coming on. People forget about it. It's Syria. I had company in Syria since 90s, and now in the last year I traveled 3 times to go. It's coming also. It's a new small market, but it's coming, and also they accepting clinical study. They are doing now biosimilar regulatory, and they encourage people to do secondary packing for 2 years, and after to transfer the manufacturing as in Algeria. But they accepting now the full clinical study from China, but they giving more faster registration if you have a clinical study from Europe.
Yeah, I think we are running out of time. Thank you so much to our panelists. Please give them a round of applause. And thank you again to the audience for joining us. Thank you.
更多内容请持续关注异想线上。See you next time.